Many people face challenges when it comes to maintaining discipline, often finding themselves caught in cycles of doubt and frustration. Despite best intentions, attempts to build lasting habits through motivation or rigid routines frequently fall short. It's common to question one's own willpower, wondering why progress seems elusive even after repeated efforts. These experiences can lead to feelings of disappointment and uncertainty about how to truly change. Understanding this struggle is the first step toward discovering more effective approaches to personal growth. Many people find themselves caught in a familiar cycle. It begins with setting ambitious goals and feeling a surge of motivation at the outset. However, as days pass, that initial enthusiasm fades, and progress slows or stalls altogether. This often leads to disappointment and self-blame, as individuals question their own discipline or commitment. The resulting frustration can make it even harder to start again, reinforcing the cycle. The real challenge often lies not in a shortage of discipline, but in the sheer magnitude of change being pursued. When individuals attempt to overhaul multiple aspects of their lives at once, it can provoke a strong sense of resistance. This resistance is a natural response to feeling overwhelmed by the scope of transformation. Recognizing this underlying obstacle allows for a more strategic approach, focusing on manageable steps rather than sweeping reforms. By addressing the scale of change, progress becomes more attainable and sustainable. A crucial insight reveals that our brains are wired to interpret sudden or significant changes as potential threats. This instinctive response triggers avoidance behaviors and a drive for self-protection, even when the change itself may be positive or necessary. By understanding this natural tendency, we can better recognize why resistance often emerges during periods of transition. Awareness of this mechanism allows us to approach change with greater empathy and patience, both for ourselves and others. Instead of focusing on how to cultivate more discipline, it can be helpful to reframe the challenge. By identifying the smallest possible action that is so simple it cannot be failed, progress becomes more attainable. This approach removes the pressure of perfection and encourages consistent movement forward. Even tiny steps, when repeated, can build momentum and confidence. Over time, these incremental actions lay the foundation for larger achievements. When motivation is lacking, it can be difficult to begin even the simplest tasks. By committing to just 2 minutes of action, you create a tiny habit that removes the pressure to perform perfectly or complete everything at once. This approach makes starting much easier, as the commitment feels manageable and non-intimidating. Over time, these brief moments of effort can build momentum, helping you gradually overcome inertia and make progress, even on days when motivation is scarce. Applying this habit in daily life involves breaking tasks down into their smallest possible steps. For example, when working out, it might mean starting with just 1 push-up. In studying, it could be reading a single paragraph before moving on. Writers might begin by jotting down 1 sentence rather than tackling an entire page. By focusing on these manageable actions, progress becomes less overwhelming and more consistent. One surprising advantage is that the activity frequently extends beyond 2 minutes, offering more value than initially anticipated. Even if you decide to stop before reaching the 2-minute mark, it's important to recognize that this still represents a meaningful achievement. The flexibility in duration allows for personal progress at any pace, reinforcing that every effort counts. This approach encourages consistency and celebrates incremental improvements, regardless of the exact timing. The tiny habit approach is effective because it significantly lowers psychological resistance. Instead of demanding large amounts of willpower or discipline, it focuses on making small, manageable changes that feel easy to start. This method reframes discipline as a process of reducing friction rather than forcing oneself to exert effort. By making the desired behavior simple and accessible, it becomes much less daunting, allowing progress to happen naturally. Over time, these small steps accumulate, leading to meaningful and sustainable change. When we commit to small, consistent actions, we gradually reshape our perception of ourselves. Each time we follow through, even with minor tasks, we reinforce the idea that we are capable of discipline and reliability. Over time, these repeated behaviors accumulate, transforming our self-identity from someone who struggles with discipline to someone who reliably takes action. This subtle shift is powerful, as it builds confidence and lays the foundation for tackling larger challenges. The process demonstrates that change often begins with simple, everyday choices. Discipline is not the result of a single extraordinary effort, but rather the product of steady, consistent actions over time. By repeating small, manageable tasks each day, we gradually strengthen our self-control and determination. These daily habits accumulate, making it easier to stay committed even when motivation fades. Intense, one-time efforts may bring short-term results, but true discipline is forged through persistence and routine. Every time you dedicate 2 minutes to a purposeful action, you are casting a vote for the kind of disciplined person you wish to become. These brief moments may seem insignificant on their own, but each one contributes to a larger pattern of behavior. Over time, the accumulation of these small votes shapes your identity and reinforces your commitment to discipline. By consistently making these choices, you gradually build habits that define your character and drive lasting change. After just a few weeks, noticeable improvements began to emerge. Workouts became more consistent, study sessions were easier to maintain, and overall focus increased. These positive changes were directly linked to a reduction in internal resistance, making daily routines feel less like a struggle. The process of overcoming mental barriers led to a smoother, more productive experience across various activities. As a result, progress felt more sustainable and rewarding. Adopting a tiny habit often leads to more than just a change in daily routines. Over time, these small actions begin to reshape how we see ourselves, fostering a sense of accomplishment and self-efficacy. As the habit becomes ingrained, discipline feels less like a struggle and more like a natural part of who we are. This transformation in self-identity can make it easier to take on new challenges and maintain positive behaviors in the long run. If you find yourself struggling with discipline, it's important to remember that the challenge may not stem from a lack of willpower. Often, the real issue lies in setting goals that are too ambitious or overwhelming. By breaking down larger objectives into smaller, more manageable steps, you can create a path that feels achievable. This approach helps build confidence and momentum, making progress more sustainable. Recognizing that discipline is a skill developed over time can be a powerful encouragement for anyone feeling discouraged. To make progress on tasks we often avoid, it helps to start small. Choose one task you've been putting off and commit to working on it for just 2 minutes. This brief commitment lowers the barrier to getting started and can make the task feel less overwhelming. By focusing on the act of beginning rather than completion, you build momentum and confidence. Over time, these small steps can lead to lasting changes in your habits and productivity. Discipline often starts with actions so small that they don't provoke resistance or fear. By focusing on manageable steps, we lay the foundation for lasting change. Over time, these tiny habits accumulate, transforming our routines and outlook. Even the smallest act of discipline can set in motion a powerful ripple effect, leading to profound life improvements. Embracing this approach makes the journey towards self-growth both accessible and sustainable.